This video started out interesting for the first 4 seconds, and then at the end I ended up hating him again, equally as much for making this video because it made no sense. It was just a letdown. And then the next song I clicked on, it was like I was watching Chris Martin, okay? And we're not even talking about Coldplay. I don't think anyone suggested Coldplay for C's, by the way. You know what? The girls in my band have more balls than the guys that were in this video downtown, because the girls in my band go downtown to that slum hole all the time. Anyway, could you tell I didn't like this band? I'm sure that if I ever see these guys, they'll try to beat me up. Maybe. Or maybe we can talk constructively about our bands, and they can give me some constructive criticism about the videos that we make. Okay, and I'm glad you're willing to investigate Enon Balbi. So, Miss Q, I'm already in a bad mood, and then you go on and list. This isn't the Miss Q. This has no relation to the person that was once in West Indian Girl for a couple years. This Miss Q just left me a bunch of E's. Okay, the rules of the game are 2 songs that are in your iPod, that are in your iTunes library or somewhere on your computer that begin with that letter, and then leave me links to songs. I don't need 20 bands that start with E. I don't need that. I can do that myself, on my own. And that's why I was stuck with mentioning Eazy-E, okay, because I didn't have a lot to choose from. So I had to play by my own rules. Okay, Lola, this is making me a little happier. You suggested Elbow, and Elbow, 5-piece from formed in 1997 from England. The song you recommended led me to another song, which I totally fucking loved, and it was see, this is a band that the editors should maybe watch, because when you watch it, it was convincing, it was real, and it just will sell you on the emotion that they're trying to put out. The song was called Grounds for Divorce, and there's a great bass line in that song too. It just didn't seem, sometimes you don't have to try, and usually when you don't try, it's effortless, and it just works. Merry Christmas to you too. Sweets suggested Empire of the Sun. We've been talking about Empire of the Sun a lot in the studio. Australian duo. One of the guys was in Sleepy Jackson, who was signed to Astroworks when we were on Astroworks. Interesting rock makeovers. How you can just totally reinvent yourself. These guys are kind of like a cross between MGMT and Fisher Spooner, except in Australia. And they should give Adam Ant a special thank you for just ripping off almost all of his style. From his makeup to his wardrobe to everything. I'm not a huge fan of Empire of the Sun. I think their songs are catchy for sure. Huge production value. How can they not be huge when you go that big and that visual? And yeah, it's a recipe for success. So I think that's it. Is that all? Yes. And then Z, you suggested 8 Legs, UK. Sounds like early Cure. Unfortunately, you know what? There's a band, and D, I think, from Buffalo that sounded exactly like The Cure. But as you listen to them more, they progressed and they were more interesting. This band just stayed the same. Sounded like early Cure. It was easy for me to dismiss them. And then you suggested Electrolane. They're from the UK. This was way better. They've been around 10 years. All chicks. It was pretty good and pretty interesting. I think they broke up. So, okay, Sarah, you suggested Eleni Mandel, and she's an LA singer-songwriter. You know my feelings on singer-songwriters, especially girls, usually not that into it. In this case, again, not that into her stuff, but interestingly enough, she is singing with, she's doing a show at the Wiltern, for I think with Brian Wilson and the girl Becky Stark, who sang on our first record, who sang on What Are You Afraid Of? So that was pretty cool to find out. Okay, Greg P. This was a winner. You suggested The Egg. They were formed in 1996. I think they're an English band. They're more of a festival electronic band. I ended up listening to these guys for a while, and they sort of reminded me. I started thinking they sounded like Soundtribe Sector 9, but way cooler than Soundtribe Sector 9. Anyway, the point is I stuck on them for like a half hour, so it was pretty good. And then you suggested The Ends, which was a Japanese band formed in 1996. Okay, 20 seconds into this video, I thought I was watching like a weird mix of like 9 Inch Nails and Riverdance. Like he worshipped both of these guys way too much and fused it together in some sort of weird personality. If I understood Japanese, I'm sure this would have been more enjoyable. Maybe. Okay. Monkey. A lot of new names on here this week. I like that. You suggested Earth, Wind, and Fire. That was a welcome change of pace. People should click on this link because the picture of Earth, Wind, and Fire is awesome. I mean, there's 12 people in this band, and I thought I had a lot of people in West Indian Girl. You can't argue with their look, especially when they went to that supersonic, like cosmic, funky thing with Shining Star, that was a great look. Santino, this happens to be Dino, who's intern, who's generally just all around awesome, part of the West Indian Girl family. And the I Will Never Be the Same family. You said Enter Shikari. Fucking didn't like this, Dino, at all. It's confused. It was like 3 different bands all rolled into one. They were from the UK, and they did a lot of the... I don't like it. Surprised that, you know, I think it's maybe for, like, if I was a lot younger, I might like it. Great energy, though, but I fucking hated it. Explosions in the Sky, probably my favorite band from Ease that has been mentioned today. I ended up, at this point, I think I was lying in my bed and I listened to the like 4 songs, and I like Explosions in the Sky a lot. There's not too many instrumental bands that are suggested. They do this really well, and I kind of missed that about the bands I'm in. I wish we could just jam a lot more at certain times and not have vocalists sing. But unfortunately, vocalists feel the need to sing, and sing a lot because they're vocalists. Drunk Dial Dan is next. Dan Lavelle. You suggested Elephant, which is sort of an eclectic dream pop from New York. They left no real lasting impression. The same with the next band that you suggested, Elysium, which is electronic rock from San Diego. Again, no impression. You're going to have a tough time because you leave me the best messages in the world. So until you suggest a band that actually is better than the messages that you leave on my answering machine, it's going to be tough. And that didn't do it. Iliff, Eskimo Joe, Australian 4-piece. I like this for the simple reason the guy is playing the exact same bass that I have, that I own, that I've been in love with for the last 2 years, which is a Music Man Black. Awesome bass. Great bass.